Hey guys, and welcome to this discussion for Riverdale Season 4, Episode 17. I kind of wanted to talk about this one because I watch Riverdale. I watch the show. I've been watching it since the beginning. And a lot of people are angry at this episode. And so I decided to really kind of sit down, watch it. And I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Because, boy, there was a lot in this episode. So I kind of broke it down into 3 separate sections. There's the good, the bad, and the Barchi. Yep. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, starting with the stuff that I liked. One thing I can appreciate with this episode is, and particularly with most of the musical episodes in this series, is that they, being Riverdale, the show, understand how insane it is and how crazy it is, and they kind of just run with it, and they don't pull any punches. They know how campy it is, they know how dumb it is, they know how stupid it is, and they go full 100%, 180 all the way to the finish line with how the camp and the crazy and the stupid, and I just appreciate how, insane that is. Shout out to Cole Sprouse, he really brought it this episode. Great singing. He's a really good singer. Yeah, good singing, dude. Kevin. One thing I appreciate is they're bringing Kevin back. And what I mean by that is like a lot of, particularly season 3 and 2-ish Kevin, and a lot of season 4, Kevin kind of got shafted a little bit, pushed a bit to the side. And I like that they're kind of bringing him back, giving him his own storylines again. And I love that this episode really delved into one of my favorite things about this season, which was addressing the craziness that was the farm. I know it was like one line, but like they're still acknowledging that like Kevin has a lot of growing up to do, a lot of repenting, I guess, for everything he did with the farm, which was a lot. So yeah, I think that's just something I can appreciate. Moving on to the bad stuff. The songs, I didn't really like the songs. There's a certain level of time, like where not that's not what I mean. Like Riverdale has this thing where everybody will have cell phones and like big flat screen TVs, but then they'll be driving around in like jalopies and old-timey cars and stuff like that, and it kind of plays to where you don't really know what time period it's set in. And I feel like one of the things that I appreciated most about the musical episode in season 3 was a lot of the songs kind of dealt with what the characters themselves were feeling, particularly 17, with Jughead, Betty, Jughead, Betty, and Choni. Stupid. And that song was about them wishing that they could be 17 again, and reaffirming their relationship with themselves. But a lot of these songs kind of just felt like they needed songs from Hedwig, and they took the songs that kind of, I guess, made the most sense at the time, and it just didn't fit a lot of the arguments. Like there would be songs where I could hear the words coming out of their mouth, but when you put it in the situation that they're in, it really didn't make a lot of sense, if you kind of catch my drift. And just a lot of the songs didn't work for me, as well as the tone. I know at the end of it, like they're singing that big like uplifting song, but then it cuts to probably one of the most disturbing scenes in Riverdale, which is someone dressed like Jughead getting their head bashed in by someone who looks like Betty. But then it cuts back to like the big, pumping up moment, end of the song, grand, coup de grace finale with all the sparklers and stuff like that. And it was just kind of a tone shift, because like I'd be watching that and I'd be like, okay, this is campy. Whoa, what is that? And then it would go back to the big campy moment, so that didn't fit. So my second thing is kind of an overarching problem that I've had with the later seasons of Riverdale, which is that the best thing about the first season was that in the 10 episodes that they really had one motive, which was who killed Jason Blossom. In the 10 episodes, we're going to talk about, who did it, why he did it. And in the later seasons, in the 24 episode, seasons that they've had, they've kind of been bouncing around with what the big overarching thing is. And I know a lot of shows, they don't particularly have one overarching thing, or I mean, a lot of them do, but like what I mean, like what I'm trying, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it, but like, okay, so I'll use this season as an example. They have the beginning part of the season, which is, Stonewall, and then you have the underlying layers of this person that's been, sending videotapes to everybody, watching them, and so you have that, but then you bounce back to the Stonewall storyline, and then when that wraps up, you have like this ending sort of conflict where you gotta wrap up the whole they're graduating high school type thing, but then there's still the person watching their house sort of, and just the way it bounces back and forth tonally just doesn't really make much sense, because you're kind of going, okay, wait, so that guy was and then you gotta go, so that was, oh yeah, the thing with him watching the house, so that was in the couple episodes before, but then they were talking about Stonewall and it just doesn't work. It's one of those things where you really gotta scratch your head to think about it, kind of figure it all out, put a timeline on it, or maybe I'm just dumb. That honestly might be it. Let's talk about Barchi. Stupid, doesn't work, it's dumb, and I'm not just saying that as a Bughead fan, which is Bughead. Ugh. But like, just Jughead and Betty, like, their characters work together. Like, and I get it, you're trying to create conflict because it's a teen show, which makes sense. But in the level where this stuff happens, first of all, cheating is wrong. Like, don't cheat. First and foremost, lesson of the day, don't cheat. But the way that these characters get there, like, I'm perfectly fine with it's one of those things where it's like, I'm fine with where they ended up, I just don't like how they got there. Like, yes, Archie and Betty had this moment, which is like, okay, fine, whatever, you gotta create drama, but the way that they get there is kind of a head-scratching moment where you're just like, huh? Because Betty and Jughead get into a fight, as well as Archie and Veronica, and it's like, okay, they got into a fight, which is to me funny, because every time Betty and Jughead get into a fight, she immediately goes to Archie, which is, phew, okay, this is a lot about you. But Archie and Veronica's fight to me was so dumb, because she's mad at him. She's mad at him because he didn't tell her that his dad slipped on a bar when he was lifting weights. And it's to me, it's so funny, because Archie has this line in the episode where he says, if Hiram Lodge tells you to shut up, you better shut up. And I'm staring at the screen going, yes, because this guy in the total of 2 seasons has tried to murder Archie on multiple occasions. So, like, yeah, if he tells you to do something, you do it. Like, and plus it was kind of one of those things where it's like, if okay, Hiram slipped on the bench. Okay, I slip on the bench working out all the time. Yeah, I work out. But like, if he fell down the stairs, then yeah, you should probably drag his ass to the hospital or tell somebody. But like, it was so minor, and everybody kept treating it like, oh my god, like my dad's gonna die immediately. Veronica with the daddy issues. Serious daddy issues, girl. Get yourself together. But it just didn't seem like, relationship shattering, material, to the point where Archie was just like, okay, I'm gonna look at Betty again from across the window. As for Betty and Jughead, like, he has this really corny line where he says death changes a person, and it's like, you weren't dead. It's like, but you weren't really dead. You were in a bunker for like 2 weeks. So like, tomato. So their fight didn't really warrant any, because I'm trying to, again, it's one of those things where like you're trying to remember what they were fighting about. Okay, so she was mad at him because he wasn't doing his schoolwork. He was looking up murder stuff, and I guess she was upset because she was going to graduate and he might not have. Grammar. It just feels forced. It's one of those things where it just feels like they needed to create conflict for Betty to once again run back into the arms of Archie. And it's one of those things where, I'm not even mad at it. I'm just like, you got to do something better than that. And I like, it's one of those things where it's like, this stuff happens and the characters start regressing. Season 2, Archie and Betty kissed, and again, Betty does not tell Jughead. I was kind of the only person that thought, okay, maybe when Jughead apologized to her, she's going to tell him, because she didn't last time. He had to figure it out from Cheryl. But again, she doesn't tell him. And it's one of those things where it's just like, it's always better when they know. But then also you're thinking to yourself, okay, does she still want to be with Jughead? She had that moment where she was, touching the glass, using the Force, connecting with Archie from across the street. And, she tears up when Jughead, first of all, Jughead, like, I saw that look. He gave, when they were playing the songs, he kind of gave this look where he was like, Betty seems weird. I like how smart he is. Good. Wow, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, this was just dumb. This was just really, really dumb. Yeah. I know... Sorry, I know my thoughts are kind of all over the place when it comes to this episode, but a lot of this season has been all over the place. A lot of this series has been all over the place, but that's not going to stop me from watching it, because at the end of the day, I still really do like this show. I really love all the characters. I really love all the actors, and I really can't wait to see where they're going to go from here. But just please, guys, I get that you're angry with the episode, but don't blame the actors. Don't send hate mail to Lily and KJ about what their characters did. Because at the end of the day, they're following a script. They're actors. I don't have to tell you this. You're smart enough on your own. At least most of you are. Y'all should be. Please. And yeah, that was it. Yeah. That was it. Now, if you excuse me, I got some wigs to put on. Like, I'm trying to film here. Really?